Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Chile Tzu Chi volunteers distribute relief items and zinc plates to flood victims in Pin-coya. We investigate why 1/3 of students in Taiwan is unable to find a stable job within 6 months of graduation. South Africa Tzu Chi volunteers and Tzu Chings visit the local United Cerebral Palsy Association to care for patients. In Chile, the heavy rains towards the end of June damaged 43 houses in Pin-coya, a slum area situated by the capital. Upon receiving the news from a local congressman, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived with relief items as well as zinc plates to help residents make repairs to their roofs.
It's now winter season in the southern hemisphere, and the evening temperature in Chile hovers below 0 degrees Celsius. Recent torrential rains damaged residents' rooftops and wreaked havoc on the slum area in Pin-coya. While the grown-ups find themselves in a predicament, the innocent children, however, are happy to receive visitors. Under the request of a Chilean congressman, Tzu Chi volunteers arrive with immediate help. Since a fire disaster last year, Tzu Chi reaches out once again, giving timely aid to local residents.
Tzu Chi Foundation is from Taiwan. The founder is Master Zeng Yan.
Tzu Chi volunteers brought with them some 500 sheets of zinc roof plates, and each household will receive 12 sheets to conduct repairs on their roof. Although the winter is harsh, when the residents remember the volunteers' love, all will be warm inside their hearts.
In China, to help impoverished students on their path of education, 2 scholarship award ceremonies were held in Ningde City and Nanjing City of Fujian Province. With Tzu Chi by their side, these students are learning valuable lessons that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Here in Ningde City, Fujian Province, China Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a scholarship awards ceremony for 149 impoverished students. During the ceremony, volunteers show footage of their journey in visiting each scholarship recipient, which brought many students to tears.
The most valuable lesson I've learned from Tzu Chi is gratitude and cherishing blessings. In the future, I also hope to use my ability to give back to society.
Receiving financial assistance, the students from Ningde No. 1 and No. 5 High School and Jiaocheng Minority High School know that Tzu Chi volunteers will always be by their side on their path of education. Meanwhile, in Nanjing City, Tzu Chi volunteers are returning for the 4th time to hand out scholarships to 49 students from Nanjing No. 1 High School and Nanjing Technical School.
I think besides the financial support I have received, more important is the emotional support. Tzu Chi has really taught me an important lesson in life, and that's gratitude.
The right words of wisdom at the right time can influence a person's direction in life.
The Jing's aphorism really reflects what I need right now. I'm currently not fulfilling my filial duties to my parents, and this will stand as a reminder.
Under the guidance of volunteers, students from Nanjing No. 1 High School also participate in evening recycling events. In continuing the cycle of love, students are reciprocating Tzu Chi's love by protecting our environment.
In Guangdong, China, at the recent public service advertising contest organized by Shenzhen Media Group, Dai TV was the only overseas partner invited to take part. It is hoped that this collaboration may serve as a platform to spread positive energy across Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan.
With members of the public watching, the 8th public service advertising competition kicks off in Shenzhen City. Shenzhen, a forerunner of China's economic miracle, is now focusing on developing its cultural assets. Like 30 years ago, when it was the driver of the Chinese economic miracle, the Shenzhen city government now hopes to bring together the power of citizens from both sides of the strait in establishing a city that is filled with culture and social harmony.
We hope to strengthen the media cooperation between Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, and other related organizations, to make Shenzhen the host of the most influential public service advertising contest in the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan region.
This year, organizers of the event invited Da'ai Television to attend. From its shows to its public service advertising, Da'ai TV continues to generate positive energy 24 hours a day, promoting Taiwan's integrity and goodness in society. And it has set an example for media houses in Shenzhen to follow.
Advertising, as we all know, is produced through creative ideas, which can help bridge the distance between people and also generate mutual awareness. What it also aims to achieve through creativity and design is to portray the realities of society and spread these messages to audience members so that they may find their direction.
Organizers hope that the media industry can follow Da'ai TV's footprints in becoming the driving force in enhancing goodness and compassion in society.
June marked the end of the school year for most of Taiwan's college students. Although a time of celebration for many, with Taiwan's economy outlook still gloomy, many students are faced with the choice of trying to either find a job in this difficult market or continue on with their schooling. In our next report, let's find out why 1/3 of students in the country is unable to find a job within 6 months of graduation.
Taking their graduation pictures is the graduating class of 2013, now ready to embark on the next stage in their lives. But will tomorrow actually be a better day?
I am scared that I won't find a job.
The environment for graduates is not that good. From what I have heard, jobs are hard to find. It is enough to cause some worry.
For those that are not prepared, they face the specter of unemployment. Others have avoided the job question entirely by applying for graduate school. For example, Lin Tingyu will be attending Tsinghua University in the fall.
I decided to continue with my studies as a way to increase my marketable skills. That way, I won't be so apprehensive when facing a downturn in the job market.
According to the Labor Bureau, a starting salary for a master's student is $22 less than last year, while the average starting salary for college students is only $890 a month, $25 less than 13 years ago. According to the Ministry of Education, out of the graduating class of 2013, close to 42,000 students, or 1/6 of the total graduating class, have decided to continue on with graduate studies, a rise of 15% over last year.
While in school, they can escape from what awaits them on the outside. However, once back in society, they might have a hard time learning how to apply themselves to their work. So the decision to put off work for a few years could in fact have a negative impact on their future career.
Although the situation seems less than ideal, most new graduates remain positive about their future, with 92% of graduates deciding to enter the workforce after college.
6 months after graduation, around 64% of graduates have found jobs, which means that almost 1/3 of graduates are still unemployed after half a year.
As well, 15% of recent graduates leave their first job after 3 months, which means companies face poor retention rates in recent graduates.
One reason is perhaps the job does not fit with what they were looking for. Second is that they maybe are unable to handle the pressures of the job. Finally, they might not be willing to do the work required with a salary of only around $800 a month.
With the workplace getting more and more competitive, students need to learn how to make themselves more marketable if they hope to one day find the job and salary of their dreams.
In New Taipei City, Xinjiang District, Tzu Chi volunteers organized a tea gathering at the Fuying recycling station to thank the recycling volunteers for their selfless dedication. As the recycling station is situated on a major road, Tzu Chi volunteers took the chance to remind recycling volunteers to be aware of their own safety when volunteering.
In front of the Fuying recycling station is a major road. Therefore, at a tea gathering, recycling volunteers are reminded to be aware and be careful.
The traffic outside is very busy. When you are getting on or off the truck, it may cause traffic congestion or inconvenience to other drivers.
It is safer to carry recyclables with the help of other volunteers.
When you have to move heavy items, don't be shy to ask for help. Please feel free to ask Tzu Chi brothers and sisters to lend a helping hand. If you carry the heavy items alone, you may strain your back.
Volunteers' unselfish dedication is the pillar of this recycling station, like Chen Shulan, who suffered from stomach cancer 5 years ago, but now it's seen almost every day at the recycling station.
I was so close to death. I made a vow back then, if I could recover and leave the hospital, I would devote myself to be a recycling volunteer or a hospital volunteer. Amazingly, I recovered very quickly. Master Zheng Yan's ideals are great. After I joined Tzu Chi, the more I do, the happier and healthier I am.
Many volunteers are also seen at the recycling station every morning.
Before, I only cooked for unnecessary troubles. After I heard Master Zheng Yan say, as we step one foot forward, we lift the other foot up, I learned to focus on today. The Master also said, you do not have the rights to your body, only the right to use it. That's why I seize the moment and do as much as I can now.
The recycling station brings local residents together to spread seeds of kindness in the local community.
In Guangdong Province, China, a glass factory owner in Puning City recently donated his factory to Tzu Chi, which was later turned into a recycling point. Thanks to this kind-hearted owner, recycling volunteers can now practice recycling in a bigger space. Moving recyclables from one side to another, this is Tian Xuwen, who is practicing recycling for the first time. Tian says he hopes his gesture can inspire others to join his ranks. Thanks to the help of glass factory owner Zhong Xikun, who donated more than 198 square meters of space to Tzu Chi, local volunteers can now store and sort recyclables in a bigger space.
At first, we started practicing recycling because we wanted to contribute our share and clean up the mess we created. Everyone works very hard in protecting our modern Earth.
Practicing recycling is not only good for the body, but also strengthens friendship between neighbors. Volunteer Chen Ke Wang, who lives across the recycling point, always sees the chance to volunteer.
This recycling point is just across my house. It will be a waste if I don't practice recycling.
All the volunteers say that sorting recyclables has helped them strip away their ignorance and hope that more people can join their ranks in safeguarding the planet. There are about 200,000 epilepsy sufferers in Taiwan, and about 30% of them have the more serious form of the condition called refractory epilepsy. Next, we meet Liu Siwei, whose brain and motor functions were damaged by his frequent seizures. However, his mother refused to give up and finally helped the boy get a chance at a normal life.
Liu Siwei likes to play at a park near home after school. However, several years ago, he would suddenly succumb to seizures.
He would have a big episode once every 2 to 3 days. The seizure would last anywhere from 10 to 15 to even 30 minutes. We would have to call an ambulance. He was hospitalized in the Mackay Hospital a lot. He would be discharged in the morning and hospitalized again in the afternoon.
Tzu Wei suffers a more serious form of epilepsy, where medications can do little to help him.
Because he has refractory epilepsy, his doctor tried up to 7 different kinds of medication and it still didn't help.
If the condition is not brought under control, the continuous hyper-electrical activity will affect the brain's functions. This is for certain. For example, the ability to live independently, to learn and adapt, and memory functions all will be affected.
Every one of Tzu Wei's episodes broke his mother's heart, as traditional surgery was unacceptable to the family. Finally, it was found that vagus nerve stimulation helped reduce the frequency of Tzu Wei's seizures.
Say, for example, by stimulating the vagus nerve or using deep brain stimulation, we can help strengthen the resistance of our nervous system. So by lowering the sensitivity to stimulation, we can decrease the seizure frequency.
Unfortunately, the frequent seizures have already damaged the young boy's brain, affecting his brain and motor functions. Unable to speak and walk, it was thanks to Miss Ye, who never gave up on her son, that Tzu Wei managed to pull through.
I started looking for schools that could help my son. At the time, Monday through Sunday, I would drive him to therapy every day. There, he really started making progress with me cheering him on from the sidelines.
Though Tzu Wei made tremendous progress, he remained in a special education program. To give Tzu Wei a chance at a normal schooling and make friends with normal children, Ms. Ye searched high and low for a suitable school and teacher.
I know Miss Ye is doing the best she can to provide for her son and make him feel whole. I think people's hearts can reach an understanding. I should be able to help Tzu Wei think positively or be a positive influence on him.
Miss Li is not the only one going the extra mile for Tzu Wei at school. Tzu Wei's classmates have come to understand that he needs their support and love, and thus they are always happy to keep him company during breaks.
They are all very patient and understanding when keeping my son company. As my son receives his education, I am very glad that he has made these friends. He would come home and tell me about his friends. He didn't do this before. Now I feel that he finally understands what friends mean.
The growth and smiles of Tzu Wei have brought Miss Ye much comfort and joy. Perhaps Tzu Wei still has a challenging journey ahead, but his mom has only one wish.
In the future, I just wish that he will stay healthy and won't have to worry about anything. He is healthy as long as he has no seizures.
Since 2001, Johannesburg Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa have conducted regular visits to the local United Cerebral Palsy Association to care for the patients there. Recently, the youth volunteers brought some aid supplies and spent time singing and dancing with the UCPA residents.
Shaking hands with the Johannesburg Tzu Chings, the residents of the United Cerebral Palsy Association, here are grinning from year to year. The Tzu Chi Foundation has been caring for these patients since 2001.
They don't actually need us to give them anything but our time. Some even remember our names and will be excited when they see us. Even though we're not related to them, they still treat us like family. It's very moving.
It's the family-like bond that has carried everyone for the past 12 years. Tzu Chings accompany the UCPA residents for a walk outside, not only to bask in the sunlight, but also breathe in the nature's beauty.
Those people who are coming here, they entertain those children. They keep on singing, dancing. I think it's nice to dance with people like this.
Taking reign of caring for these patients, Tzu Chings have infused a young energy into each visit.
Many of the residents are close to our age, so we see them as our younger brothers or sisters. We are always excited to be able to see them as we don't get to visit often.
I made sure bringing all the milk what you brought, and that milk what you brought on the table, and welcome here and welcome again next time again.
One UCPA resident verbally expresses his gratitude to Tzu Chi, while another performs a dance to express his joy. The laughter and joy of the day will certainly last both the resident and the Tzu Chings a lifetime.
In Malaysia, to raise funds for the construction of the Penang Dialysis and Education Centers, a two-day glutinous rice dumpling making event was held at the Batu Pahat Liaison Office. Thanks to the help of 125 volunteers, a total of 2,748 sticky rice dumplings were made, which generated more than $5,064 in sales. Washing bamboo leaves, stir-frying glutinous rice, and preparing ingredients. Today, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers are here at the Batu Pahat Liaison Office making sticky rice dumplings for charity. This time, the volunteers aim to make 2,000 sticky rice dumplings. To make sure all the volunteers can save some energy and to speed up the process, Tzu Chi volunteer Liao borrowed a fried rice machine from his friend.
I hope this fried rice machine can help our volunteers save some time. It will definitely be easier for them because they don't need to stir fry the rice by hand.
Although the sticky rice dumplings are all handmade, volunteers insist on following food safety and quality standards. Therefore, before making the snack, everyone receives a lesson.
The ropes need to be short because it will be easier for us later on, and please tie a fast knot to all the sticky rice dumplings. It should be around the size. It is different when we make rice dumplings for charity. At home, we only need to make 1 or 2 strings of the snack, but here we need to make 10, 20 or more strings. We need to follow high standards when making them, because we will lose money if we don't. The person that is in charge of the stove is very important too.
Other than housewives from the local community, many children also seize the chance to volunteer.
I'm here to wash bamboo leaves, chestnuts, and mushrooms. I also prepare the cotton strings.
I don't have anything to do when I stay at home, but over here I have many things to do. I feel fulfilled.
In just 2 days, with the help of 125 volunteers, a total of 2,748 glutinous rice dumplings were made, and more than $5,064 was collected, all money that will go towards the Penang Dialysis and Education Centers. Go back to South Africa at the end of the show. Tzu Chi volunteers visited Blue Downs, the suburb of Cape Town, to remind local residents of the upcoming winter aid distribution. The volunteers also took the chance to encourage the locals to help those in greater need. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Daai Headlines. Goodbye.